So it turns out wind doesn't exist.
Fair enough.
Hello and welcome to the Phil Shy podcast. I'm Peter Bell and with me as always the nicest man in comedy, Paddy Linton.
Hello.
Yes, we're here to talk about, not just expose the fact that big wind has pulled the wool over our eyes. No, we're here to talk,
Big wind. That's what my girlfriend calls me.
we're here to talk about the football, unsurprisingly. So try to talk about the biggest football news since we last did it. And no, that's not going to be my unbeaten season with Bayer Leverkusen on Football Manager. Bundesliga title, first one in their history, thank you very much. But no,
nice. Have they never won it before?
No.
We're going to win it this year.
They are, yeah.
In real life.
That will come up a bit later. But probably the biggest news since we last did it was the fact that Everton's points deduction got reduced from 10 to 6, which is what a lot of people said it should have been in the first place, which begs the question of why the fuck did they do 10 in the first place, you know?
I think it's because if they gave them 6, they would appeal that anyway and get that down to 4. So it's like bidding for something. But do you know what I mean?
Just say no when they appeal. Like, if I don't know, man. But it could have serious implications because this has meant that Everton are now above Forest in the table.
Yep.
And Luton are now 5 points behind Everton. Obviously, Everton and Forest might get a further points deduction, but if that doesn't happen, does this? We will talk about Luton later, but does this completely scupper their chances? Is this going to take their very difficult task and make it impossible?
Well, it pretty much makes it fucking 10 times harder. Well, fucking 4 points harder, which is a lot to come by when you're Luton.
Aye. I mean, we'll talk about them a little bit later because there's a lot to dive down into for that. But good news for Everton. I mean, they're still 6 points down, but when they got that points deduction, it boosted them a little bit in the first place. So maybe having that taken off will give them another boost. Maybe.
I know, like they've been pretty much excellent since like as excellent as Everton can be since the deduction. Do you know what I mean? Like they've picked up loads of points.
Well,
like,
the results haven't actually been brilliant in a lot of games, but they've played very well. And the weekend there, we don't have time to go into the Everton game this weekend, but the weekend there was another example of it. They played quite well, but didn't get the result. So
dice ball.
Yeah. I mean, know what you think of him.
I hate the football, man. It's so boring.
Staying in Merseyside, we will go to the Xabi Alonso situation now. So Xabi Alonso's come out and said that he would be happy and open to the move to Bayern Munich. So basically he's now odds on to go to Munich, which kind of makes sense for him. It's the easier job to take right now. Yeah. Because whoever comes in after Klopp's probably going to struggle for a bit.
He retired at the end, didn't he? He retired when he was playing for Bayern.
Yes, when he was... No, I think he might have played... Did he play for Leverkusen or did he just get a job there? No, he might have retired at Munich. You might be right. So like you say, he's got pass with him because he played for them. His family are settled in Germany. It's a big upheaval to move, wife and kids and all that all over to England, to Liverpool, when it might go all tits up very, very quickly. And this has meant that Brighton are now sweating because De Zerbi's kind of getting more attention on them. They've said that it would cost 12 million for Liverpool if they want De Zerbi out of the club.
Worth it?
But you
for like 12 million doesn't even get you a half decent player these days. Do you know what I mean?
But you did say you didn't think it was the right fit for them. You still have that opinion?
I think it's just like possession based and kind of like slow football, man. Like they didn't really take to Rodgers despite having their best result in a league for like 20 years. They still didn't take to him.
To be fair, a lot of that was to do with the brilliance of Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been going back and listening to old podcasts from like 2013, 14, all that kind of stuff. And it got me thinking about Luis Suarez. And it wasn't just how uniquely brilliant he was himself, scoring loads of goals, but he made all the other players around him better. He made Daniel Sturridge look like a world beater for a couple of seasons.
That's right.
And you think about the amount of assists he got whilst playing for Barcelona when supposedly being this selfish striker. So, like, I mean, the man's... We're not here to talk about him, but the other
sidetracked.
the other people involved, like in the run for the Liverpool job, are I think it's Amaron, who's at Sporting. I was about to call him Lisbon. Don't call them that. Sporting CP or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Pep Linders, the current assistant at Liverpool.
Yep.
Then it's De Zerbi and Julian Nagelsmann, who I actually do think would be a good fit with the gegenpressing style of football. But Xabi Alonso is still favourite, but he's just more likely to go to Bayern.
I think it's shady on Leverkusen, and we won the league yet. Like, do you know what I mean? To like say I'd be happy to join Bayern, like
there's this element of like, he did say I'm very grateful to Leverkusen, I'm happy here, because they gave him the chance. He really probably shouldn't have got that job. Straight away, because Leverkusen, although we've just said they've never won the Bundesliga, it is a big football club.
Aye, they're always there or thereabouts in the Champions League. And
League. Anyway, think about some of the players they've produced and stuff like that over the past. You know, the players they've had there. It's a big football club, and he was brand new. I think he'd only managed under 18s or under 19s or something like that before he got straight in there. But if he delivers them, it's their first Bundesliga title. I think they can't feel annoyed at him if he chooses to go anywhere else.
I know, but like, get a crack, man. Get a Champions League a crack. Like, you've built this pure amazing side. Like, build this pure amazing side. This is what always happens in Germany. Like, you build this amazing side, and then all the best players just join Bayern.
Yeah.
Like, how many Dortmund players have went to Bayern for the peak of their career, and then went back to Dortmund, like, on the way down?
Big Xhaka as well.
Like Granite.
Aye. What a boy. What a mental boy.
He's so mental.
I love him. Like, there was a period where we all hated him, but as Arsenal fans, but there's just something about him.
It's just like the unknown in it. You know what I mean? Like, he's either going to score a 40-year-old screamer or fucking headbutt someday. Like,
there was a game where it would have been Rob Holding that got sent off for us, and you know that Simpsons bit where she goes, Bart, no, and Bart stood next to her and goes, what? And she goes, oh, sorry, force of habit. Someone just redid that with Granit Xhaka.
That's class.
Further managerial news, and this is fresh from today, Wednesday. Carlo Ancelotti is being accused by the Spanish state prosecutor of tax evasion, I think it is, up to €1 million. With a potential jail sentence of 4 years, 9 months.
Jail sentence? See, Jink, the shock of like getting told he might go to jail was enough to raise his other eyebrow.
Oh, just think about it, in jail, he'd be running that place in about 2 minutes, man.
True. He'd be sitting in the corner cutting garlic with a razor.
So, yeah, someone would come out, just square up to him, and he just goes, raises that eyebrow. Sorry, Don Carlo.
But like, so I might get the... Well... Fucking Dani Alves got to jail, so for very different offences.
Yeah,
very different events. It's just because, like,
meanwhile, Mason Greenwood roams free in Spain.
But it's just because you always say, like, oh, fucking rich people and football players especially get away with murder, literally, like, get away with anything. But like the fact that Dani Alves got to jail. Like, I don't think he'll go to jail. He won't go to jail.
No, because if
his account will go to jail or something.
If I was Carlo Ancelotti and I was seriously at risk of going to jail, I would just take that Brazil job. Just go to Brazil until all this is blown over. Didn't like for years? I don't know if he still. Well, obviously he doesn't. He's dead. But Diego Maradona owed like the Italian government something like 30 million euros or something like that, just for not paying tax.
No, just move. That's what he'll do. Just move.
That's what he did.
Like that fucking director guy, Polanski. That's what he done that. Like he was supposed. America's tried to extradite him for years.
I did not see us bringing up Roman Polanski.
It's true though. Like they've been trying to extradite him. Just move. That's my piece of advice. Commit a heinous crime and then move.
There you go. The next big news, again, it's not pleasant news, but Paul Pogba, he's been doping. He was been suspended, is banned from playing for 4 years because he was caught with extra high levels of testosterone. Not like he was just on the smack or anything, but see with him, it is a shame because. I don't just mean this thing, I mean his entire career basically, because when he came through Juventus, obviously he was at United first, but when he started to get in the first team of Juventus, everybody was looking at him going, wow, this is a generational talent of a footballer.
I know.
He was, if you've never seen him, go and watch some highlight reels of him at Juve, the goals he scored, the control, because he was everything in that midfield. He was big, strong, he was quick, he was great on the ball, he could pass, he could shoot, he could dribble. He was like a FIFA dream player. I think I always signed him in FIFA.
The thingy, I seen a clip for Gary Neville and Ian Wright, Roy Keane, Carragher's podcast, and Gary Neville pretty much accused Italian teams of juicing in the early 2000s. Because he was saying and Roy Keane backed him up. Roy Keane was saying I'd be starting with my horns on my knees after 75 minutes, and these guys weren't even out of breath. So if anybody's gonna cheat, it's the Italians.
Italian football had literal points juicing at that point in time as well. But no, Pogba was genuinely one of those players that when you watch him, you thought this guy could be one of the best in the world. And it feels weird to say about a player that won 4 Serie A titles, he won a couple of domestic cups, he won the Europa League and the League Cup with Man United, he won the World Cup and was a runner-up in the Euros. He could have achieved more in the game.
I know, he's underachieved after winning World Cups a lot.
Yeah, he really hasn't reached his potential.
He should have won Ballon d'Ors, man.
100%. And he during those the Euros run where they finished second and the World Cup where they won, he was a vital player. He was really, really good for them. And it just that move back to Man United,
fucked them.
It all went to his head. He believed his own hype too much. I think that was the problem with him. There was similarities between him and Yaya Toure to that extent as well, because there were times where Yaya was saying, I'm not getting the respect I deserve. I did this and that last season. If you actually checked, he was just making up. He was talking about 2 or 3 seasons ago. And then obviously he threw a huff because
he never got a birthday cake.
Exactly. So there's some similarities there, and he's not the worst example of a guy believing his own hype, because I'm not saying he's like Adel Taarabt or something like that. But I think that if you look at other players who are really incredibly arrogant but still put in the work and still have
Ronaldo.
the determination. Ronaldo's a prime example, and Ibrahimovic as well. But the thing is, Pogba, you might not believe this, had the ability to be in that league, that calibre of player, but just his own work ethic.
It's a shame because when he was playing for France, it was he would play out his skin for France and then go back to Man U and when they show up.
He did say that he was depressed playing under Mourinho at Man United, but I can imagine most of them were. He's not a happy man, Mourinho. In fact, I think I remember Paddy Power at the time, they posted something of, what a World Cup this has been for Paul Pogba. Can't wait to see how quickly Jose Mourinho manages to thump this confidence out of him. And that's that, really. It is a shame for Pogba because he could have been the best player in the world.
31, 32?
He's got to be older than that now, doesn't he?
Yeah. But
let's find out.
So that's his career pretty much ended, regardless if
he's only 30.
Is he? Or well, he might still get a season now. He might appeal it and get it down to 2 years or whatever.
The only way I can see him coming back to football would be as if he goes over to the Saudi League or something like that. And again, he is a Muslim, so it might work that way. Yeah. But he's got such a big social media following and marketing behind him. He could go into modelling or some shit like that. I don't know, but he's got plenty of opportunities. I don't imagine he's going to go hungry anytime soon. I think he'll be all right. But yeah, it's a shame that he never reached his potential. But it is also kind of a lot his own fault.
Don't get caught at least.
Yeah. I mean, no. What was the thing about it? So he said it was someone in Miami, a friend in Miami.
Yeah,
gave him this stuff. And it's if it's not from your club doctor, don't fucking take it, man.
Don't take medicine off your pals,
especially in fucking Florida.
If you're a football player, if you're just a regular guy like me,
that's
take whatever medicine your pals have.
Right, okay. So in lighter news, this made me laugh over the past 2 weeks. Rio Ferdinand said that Arteta would 100% move from Arsenal to Man United if he was offered the job.
Really? I've never seen that. That's amazing.
Ferdinand said that.
The arrogance.
So he would leave the club that he played for, the squad he's built, that is currently third to the league on an unbeaten run.
Been challenging for league titles the last 2 years.
In a title challenge, to go to a team languishing in 6.
Yeah,
but just no plan or any sort of
But they've got a secret weapon. They've got Anthony. It can do that wee spin thing.
Oh yeah. No, I think he's just that big a fan of Johnny Evans. He's I've got to coach him before he retires.
Oh man,
I don't. I don't know if, I'm assuming there isn't drug testing for pundits, but if there is, I think he might be forgetting again soon.
Get his hair tested right now.
Well, whoever your guy is,
Rio,
send us his number. I want some of that. Well, obviously we're not going to talk about the Arsenal game because I didn't actually catch the full thing. I'm assuming you didn't either.
What, Monday nights? No, I was gigging.
Yeah. So I do want to talk about it, right? So I've got some stats basically. That's the third away game in a row they've scored 5 or more goals in.
Mental.
It's the first time in Premier League history, I believe. In the 7 games they've played in 2024, they've scored 31 goals and conceded just 3.
Wild.
This is also at the time of the year where they normally begin to stumble a little bit and drop off, lose silly games against teams like the ones they're playing.
Aye.
I'm still very realistic about it. I still think, this is City's league. They're just going to find a way to win it. But is this a sign of growth, do you think, from Arsenal?
Have Arsenal still to go to the Etihad?
Yes, that's actually the weekend coming, I believe.
Is it? No, it's Liverpool City this weekend.
Liverpool City? Okay, so I think it's either... it's not this
coming
weekend.
Up the next few weeks, aye.
Yeah, you're right, because I think it's Arsenal-Brentford this weekend.
Aye.
5:30 Saturday, that is. Just... piece of information.
Autism there.
That literally
the way
was.
Your face pure changed and everything. You just went 5:30 Saturday.
I was looking up all the fixtures for this weekend, and then once that piece of information came in, it was like a fucking dominoes.
I bet you think in teletext.
Or CFAX.
It's Tory teletext.
Yeah, I agree. So they are playing against each other quite soon. Which could be a very interesting game. And I know I shouldn't be afraid of it, but it's growth from Arsenal. They look a bit more smart compared to last year.
This time last year they were dropping points against like Southampton and shit like that. So
thankfully Southampton aren't there this time round.
I know, but like it was teams that were like fighting relegation that they were like drawn to each and stuff with.
City will be happy Southampton aren't there either because. Well, it wasn't basically Southampton that knocked them out of a cup competition and gave them like their only home defeat last season. Or something like
yeah, that's right.
Under Nathan Jones, where is he now? That's a question. Also on that, this is a very good point someone made. Virgil van Dijk at the end. We'll talk about that game, but Virgil van Dijk at the end of that game took a fan's phone and like filmed the celebrations of the Liverpool players.
Oh, did he?
The exact same shit Odegaard got into trouble for by the Liverpool player.
At least it was a club fucking photographer. Exactly. It wasn't even just a random guy. It wasn't even Jerry.
Where's the outrage over this? Oh, wait, no, it's actually fine. Yeah, it's
the guy spits in 14-year-old wee lassies. So
aye, honestly, you look at those amazing celebrations after a 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest. How dare you celebrate?
To be fair, they scored after added time. So
aye. We'll go into that. We'll go into that because that goal pissed me off. The last piece of fun news we'll do before we go out the weekend's games. Legia Warsaw, their fans were recently banned. The Ultras section was closed and they were banned from entering the stadium in a Europa League game. But they underestimated the tenacity and determination of the Legia Warsaw Ultras because they snuck into the stadium and put this tifo up. We'll put it in here, right?
It was a massive tifo, man.
It was a huge tifo of a Lego man with the word "surprise motherfuckers" under it.
It was incredible, man. It was like the best banner I've ever seen in my life, man.
Like when we say it's big, it was like the size of a fucking quick fit. Like it was huge. This
the size of the whole stand. It was fucking massive.
It was incredible. And it just, I love that. I mean, well played, Legia Warsaw.
And it was at the bit like where like they have to like
it's directly opposite the main stand. So there's no way they can't.
It just has to be on the telly. Like it's amazing.
But it got me thinking about some of the best fan banners that we've seen. Have you got a couple of examples?
Well, I'll save it to the end because it's my favourite.
Right. Okay. I'll go through a few. I've got here. So. There was a banner at Chelsea, I'm sure it was, that said, "Forget Ulrika, there's only one good Johnson."
Brilliant.
I think it was written on a bed sheet or something like that. We've just got to go fair play, mate.
Aye, because it's kind of Tory as well.
One at Aston Villa, that was in a response to David O'Leary, their manager at the time, saying... they were a fickle mob, the fans. And they just wrote on it, "We're not fickle, we just don't like you," which is very to the point. I'll send these to Paul and get them put in here while we're talking about them.
We're not fickle, we just don't like you. Remember David O'Leary? What the fuck's he up to?
He was on TalkSport the other day, actually, being talked to.
Was he?
Well, about Arsenal, because he's Arsenal's record Premier League appearance holder.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I only know him as a manager.
Yeah, like Leeds is where I knew him mostly from, watching the Premiership, hosted by Des Lynam. There's the autism thing.
Yeah,
just kicking in.
ITV 10 o'clock.
10:25. Repeated on Sundays. But yeah, no, that was another one. There was another weird one from Aston Villa fans when Benteke was playing for them. Two cunts dressed up as astronauts and held a sign that said Benteke is out of this world.
Yeah, was that inside the stadium? Yeah. How the fuck did they get through the turnstile?
I don't know. How did they get, like, they look like almost real.
Oh, I know. That looks like real glass.
Up again. Like, they put in a lot of effort and determination for that one. It was pretty good. What other ones do I have here? Because I've scrolled in accidentally. Celtic fans, when they played RB Salzburg, they had a banner that had two bulls, the Grim Reaper in the middle, and the bulls' heads were in guillotines. And then at like the crescendo of the Europa League music, the guillotines came down and beheaded the bull. And I think there was writing under it said that cut this bullshit out of football.
Aye,
because they had to play both RB Salzburg and RB Leipzig in that group.
That's right. Aye. The Red Bull both the Red Bull teams in the one group.
Yeah. It was funny, but by the end of the game, because of the result, both Salzburg and Celtic went through, so it was all very friendly at the end of the game. But at the start,
it was a bit like, it's a strong message, man. You'd expect that shit in Turkey.
Can you remember who the Salzburg manager would have been at that point in time?
Jesse Marsh? No.
It was Jesse Marsh.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes, man. Fuck yeah.
The only other thing I'll say is the best tifos around really are all done by Borussia Dortmund, because they've got that big, the yellow wall.
Aye.
There's just it's just one tier, and we'll put a wee example one in the video for you, but go and look at them because they are the best at it.
I'll give you my favourite banner that I've seen. It's Luis Diaz. It's Liverpool, and it's got a picture of Luis Diaz, the Liverpool badge, and it says only Colombia's finest gets through Liverpool customs. Which is just fantastic, pal.
Residents of Liverpool in the 90s might disagree with that.
It's just so good. Only Colombia's finest gets through Liverpool's customs. I love that there's just a special customs for Liverpool. Just checking the quality of gear. just a guy dabbing.
Aye, that's pure.
That's fine. Let it through.
Right, okay, so we'll go on to the Manchester derby now, but you might have a wee quiz for me, do you?
Oh, I may have got a wee quiz. Like,
it's based on the Manchester derby. I've not just gone mental.
So like it's similar to the quiz that you gave me a couple of weeks ago, where like you just gave us like former clubs for managers. So this is former clubs for players in the Manchester derby. So like this is players that played at the weekend there.
Good.
So this guy's clubs are Porto B, Porto, and he went out in Milan on loan. It's a hard start. You were hard, mate.
AC Milan was
yep, it? AC Milan.
Porto B, Porto.
Fullback.
Dallo?
Yes, well done, mate. There's another one. Benfica B, Benfica.
Ruben Diaz.
No. This is hard as well.
Well, I mean, that is also true for Ruben Diaz.
He also played for Vastras SK.
Alright, okay, so no, it's not.
Do you know where they're from? If you know where they're from, you
Vastras SK.
Yeah.
How are you spelling that first one?
VA with the umlauts, STERA with a different umlaut SK.
Do you know what? That hasn't helped. So, Benfica. What team was it? Was it Man U or Man City?
He plays Man U.
Man U. So Portuguese.
He's no Portuguese.
What's he fucking doing playing for Benfica B then? I don't know. I have no idea.
Swedish.
Oh, Lindelof?
Yes.
Oh.
River Plate. It's the only other team he's played for.
Oh, that's got to be Julian Alvarez.
Yes, mate. Yeah. Dinamo Zagreb, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Chelsea.
Oh, Kovacic.
Yes, mate. And Anderlecht, Rennes.
Oh, Doku.
That's the one, mate.
There we go. That's not
smashed them, mate. Smashed them.
But apart from Lindelof, that really threw me.
Oh, I mean,
it's because it's embarrassing to remember he's still there.
Mate, there's so many players for both teams that played in Portugal last. Like, it's mental.
Well, that Portugal are producing a lot of great talent right now. But actually, Lindelof, it's funny you should say that because this result, don't think it surprised anybody.
No.
Because Man City pretty much had their full strength team, and United had the defence that had Johnny Evans starting and Victor Lindelof at left back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what chance did they fucking have of winning this game?
To be fair, they gave it a fucking good go.
Well, they started quite well. They had the right idea. Set up like two banks, two sitting...
pure narrow as well.
Aye, two central defensive midfielders. And then just try and hit them on the break with like the pace of Rashford and Garnacho.
Yeah.
And it worked for the first goal. Which, by the way, what a fucking goal it was.
Mate, see if Man U had won that game, I would have said goal of the season, but because they get beat, it's kind of regardless.
Garnacho's overhead kick getting very quickly forgotten about.
Yeah, I know, but like just because of the magnitude of the game, aye.
Yeah, didn't Company's goal against Leicester that basically turned the tide and won them the league? Aye. It was kind of like that. It was a brilliant hit from Rashford. Shows what he can do sometimes when he's trying and paying attention and not being a dafty. It was in off the bar as well, wasn't it?
Aye.
As you've got to love a goal like that, man, in off the bar. I was going to say there was a moment not too long after that. I'm sorry to keep going on about Johnny Evans, but he was playing. But he brings the ball out from the defence and he's pure running, and then he lays the pass off and then just powers forward like ire itself, like proper, like I'm going for this. And it's like, Johnny, mate, you're like 53 years old.
I know, man.
And injury prone.
You're going to pick your back out, Johnny boy.
He's had a lot of injuries in his career, and they cannot afford to lose him right now because Martinez, God knows when he'll be back. He didn't get the ball back. That's I'm surprised.
Man United didn't string any more than 5 passes together, man.
That was the one where I think it was Fernandes that plays the ball in, and then Rashford takes a, quite frankly, beautiful air shot at it.
Mate, Rashford had 2 excellent chances after his goal.
Aye.
Like the goal came for nothing. It was like a strike for 30 yards, like thingy. And then he was in behind, and then he tried to like head it on, made a complete arse at it. Kyle Walker caught him, and then he had the fresh air dig as well.
Yeah, that was.
So on a different day, man, you could have went 3-0 up.
Yeah, but it never because Man United had literally one shot on target, and it was that long range screamer, and that was it. So, I mean, it was in off the bar as well, so it was almost not on target.
You're going to count it as half a shot on target?
No, and went in. I'll give them that. He also had a moment later on, Rashford, where he could have got booked for diving as well. Yeah. And Walker does that very slightly on him, and he just throws himself to the ground. Aye. And obviously Ten Hag went mental about it, and there's not enough contact in that for a foul. There's not enough contact. I actually think he was lucky to get off without getting yellow carded for it, because you shouldn't be going down for that. What else is there? Haaland having an off day up until obviously later on, but
Sitter, man.
Aye,
he's missed quite a few big chances in the last few weeks.
Well, there was a couple in that game. There was I think there was a headed chance that he put over the bar.
Yeah,
and then they've like. Now, people are saying it's a massive chance, and he should be putting that in the back of the net. It's a very difficult height, because you don't know whether to go for the volley or the header, but it is Haaland we're talking about here.
Right, remember the goal he scored against Dortmund?
Yeah.
Where the ball was like above head height and he jumped up and kicked it down the way. So like, if he's capable of that, like, he should be finishing that one.
I've also seen him do like Zlatan style kung fu kicks and stuff. Does it register on a William scale? Because of who he is?
Just because of who he is, so now I will know scale.
I thought Doku had a bit of a unimpressive game. He would dribble past people, but he never really made the right choice in the final third.
I think what made it difficult is because like Man U were just so compact, and fucking deep. Like there's no space to run into. Like there's nowhere to run. Like
didn't stop Phil.
I know, but when the like the fullback is like fucking 5 yards away from fucking goal line, like you can't like. It's not like you can knock it past him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose
it doesn't suit him.
It wasn't a game for him, but I don't know if Grealish is fit.
Apparently Grealish has just been terrible in training and stuff.
I can see that.
There was something. There was an interview a couple of weeks ago where Pep sort of mentioned it, that he's out of shape. It's because he goes at boozing and shit.
Foden on the other hand had a brilliant game. He had a good few chances before he scored. One that sparked out Kobe Mainu as well, that volley.
That's right.
Pinged it right at him, and he just looked so dangerous all game. And obviously he gets the 2 goals, but you've got to think he's got to be the first choice to play on the left hand side of that England front three, doesn't he now?
I don't know. Jordan Henderson had a good game against Utrecht the other night.
What they're gonna like? You'll put him as an inside target forward on it.
Yeah. Jordan Henderson.
What's it? A Radamantur or whatever they call it.
He's got to go. Like, I think Neville mentioned it in the commentary. He was like, you need to build this team, the England team, around him, because he's just world class. Like, so much better.
The problem for them in the future is who replaces Kane. But if you look at the age of like Foden one wing, Saka and the other, that can be their partnership for the next 10 years. Like their wing partnership for the next 10 years. Although Foden has said he prefers to play through the middle, but Bellingham's in there right now. Rice.
Plus, by the time Kane retires, they will produce another striker. England do produce strikers. They tend to be like hot and cold, but like Owen, Rooney, Shearer. Do you know what I mean? Like they've always got like a main striker. I was
going to say
Heskey.
It's because Rooney did. That
was a joke behind that.
I know. I didn't even register that you said Heskey. I mean, it's any excuse to remind people of that photo of him in 3 different directions controlling the ball.
Yeah.
But no, it's because Rooney played in so many different ways and positions and stuff like that. He would drop deep and stuff. I don't think of him like in the same way as I think of Kane as a striker.
Aye.
Even though Kane did start to do that later in his Tottenham career, they just seem like almost completely different styles of player to me. But no, you're right. I suppose they do always have one.
They'll always produce a striker.
Yeah, and by one we mean exactly one.
Yeah, aye.
Basically, Shearer and like Ferdinand or Shearer and Sheringham. That was the last time there was multiple.
Aye.
Owen didn't really have much competition. When Rooney was their main man, it was Darius Vassell.
Oh,
yeah.
Remember that was when Man City were fucking skint.
Aye,
playing it fucking.
And if you don't know the Darius Vassell, no wonder. They should produce another one. But I don't know. Oh no, I don't know any that are coming through. There's apparently a guy called Troy Parrott at Tottenham, but I don't know if he's going to actually live up to the billing, because you know what they're like when they're at a very young age. Aye. England overhype the fuck out of anyone that's showing any kind of potential.
Inflate their prices.
Yeah. First goal though for Foden. I mean, I've never seen him have like a dig like that from outside the box. Most of his goals are like after a mazy run or a
1-2. It's rare for like a Pep team, especially when they're losing, to be having like
unless
shots.
It's Rodri.
Aye, Rodri, mate, fucking. He's not lost a game in a year.
I know, it's ridiculous.
The last game he lost was against Scotland.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
a calendar year without losing a game of football.
It's
That's
just
incredible,
man.
That is a mental stat. Like that just makes you like, as well. Everybody always talks about how important it is, but like when you see that, you're like, how?
Aye,
like, how can you have lost a single game for a club or country?
It is mental, but he is just easily the best in that position in the world.
Just shows you how good Scotland are.
How good McSauce is.
How good Scotland are. Well, just kicking fuck out of Spain.
To be fair, he didn't score for Man U, did he, McSauce?
Nah.
He saves that all up for Scotland, hopefully.
He's been half a boil again.
I don't know if that was meant to be a sauce.
I don't know if he's ever. Oh, aye. Don't know if he's
a boiling sauce.
If you boil, you spoil. Don't boil your sauce, kids.
Top tips from the chef.
I don't know if he was ever on the boil.
No.
I think he scored like 8 goals in 10 games.
Yeah. Well, he was. He
scored that double?
He was. Was he not? Is either in European qualifying or the Nations League or something like that? He was.
The only player that scored more was Mbappe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you go. See, start playing him up front. That's the solution to all your problems. What else happened in this game? Yeah, so we spoke about the first goal. Yeah, as soon as City scored, it was just
inevitable, wasn't it?
They took over the game entirely. There was a couple of incidents. Garnacho running through, and then Ederson puts in tackle of the year.
Yeah.
Ten Hag was convinced that it was somehow a foul.
Nah,
so I don't.
It was high risk, but he did.
No, he got the ball. Like, it was a brilliant tackle, and it's made me wonder. See, before he came to City, was he actually a goalkeeper, or has Pep just done that thing of, right, I'm going to play you out of position and it'll work? Because he can pass like Xavi, he tackles like Puyol.
I know.
Like, what is going on, man?
He's amazing, man.
He's outstanding, Ederson. And in fact, got to give begrudgingly credit to Onana as well, because this was one of the best games I'd seen him have.
No, I thought he was excellent.
Yeah,
his distribution was class. Like, 'cause he was getting the ball forward.
Apart from for Foden's goal, then his old slippery digits came back. Second goal.
Slippery digits.
Yeah,
apparently that's what Danny Alves had as well. Kidding on, man, that's not funny.
Allegedly.
No, allegedly, mate. He's been convicted.
Yeah. So
he's in prison.
Yeah, so it's fine to make light of it.
Nah, fuck him. What's he going to?
I don't think it's about him.
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he could have saved that Foden chance, but Foden goal, second one, but the Holland goal.
Yeah.
What United did, they need to go forward and get an equaliser. They're just passing it about round the back against one of the highest pressing teams in the league. And Amrabat, like, fair play, he's just off the bench. He's not really adapted to the league at all. And he's looking like a prime example of why you don't sign someone after a good international tournament.
Yeah.
But he cannot get caught like that. Rodri didn't even need to try that hard to get the ball off him.
I saw a wee clip of remember at the World Cup where he chased down Mbappe and won the ball off him. Somebody had made a compilation of all the other times Mbappe just fucking glided past him uncontested. So like maybe they just did sign him because he was speedy. And that's it. That's all he is.
Someone just showed him that one clip, showed Ten Hag that one clip and went, look at this guy, he's faster than Mbappe. Ignored all the other ones. It's a shame from because obviously, like I say, he was just on, but just get rid. Or get it up the field. You should be looking to get it forward. Give it to the goalkeeper. You know his distribution's good, and play it long and try and get it in their box.
Did Anthony come off the bench?
I can't remember.
I wasn't really paying attention.
He did, yeah, because Foden outmuscled him off the ball, I'm sure.
Just because you've spent 80 million on somebody, man, and he's sitting on the bench for their biggest game of the season.
It's because he's not very good.
It's true. He's not very good, mate.
I mean, Ajax must have been pissing themselves when they got that done. Although Ajax have been shite since he left, so
I know, but fucking hell.
They've had a few players like that. We might have even discussed this before, but fuck it, we'll do it again. Because David Neres was outstanding for them, left. Hasn't been exactly brilliant.
Benfica now, isn't he?
Ziyech wasn't brilliant at Chelsea by any margin. I think Frankie de Jong and Matthijs de Ligt are probably the only players that have maintained their level.
Yeah.
And you could maybe argue that de Ligt hasn't got to the level that we thought he would.
Did fucking Van de Beek come for Ajax as well?
He did, yeah.
And where is he now?
Still on the books at Man United, I believe.
Is he on loan somewhere though? Somewhere weird.
I have no idea where he's gone to. Good luck to you though, whatever you are.
Good luck. Luck to you, Donny, man.
Apparently, since Pep has been at City, they have 154 more points than Man United. They've won 62 more games and scored 243 more goals.
That's amazing, that.
So the gap between them is massive. Can you see any way that this gets closed and United start competing for titles again in the next 5-10 years.
Nah. Honestly,
it's just mental to say that. Like,
I don't think City are like the way they've built.
Aye.
Of like they're a juggernaut. Like,
aye.
I think they'll always just win a title every 3 years, like minimum.
Aye.
There's no stopping them.
They're kind of in that sort of Abramovich Chelsea, but I mean even more dominant than that. But
much more dominant.
I can't see them really going, like you say, more than 3 seasons without one of the major trophies anyway. Ten Hag had his say on the game though.
What did he say?
He said that I want to get this right. Ten Hag said Man United played well.
Yep.
He said they had the opportunity for a point and a win was possible. Just to be clear, Manchester City had more shots on goal than Manchester United had possession of the football.
What?
Manchester City had 27 shots. Manchester United had 26% possession.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, Eric,
close game, mate.
You couldn't have won the fucking game.
Close, mate. Close.
Oh, he's properly losing his mind, man.
It's like when you're fighting in school. You get absolutely battered and you're like, we'll call it a draw. Like the night at Monty Python. Alright, we'll call it a draw.
5-0 up, someone shouts the next goal wins. You're like, fuck off. No.
Next goal's a winner.
Right, we'll move on from that game because Man U have suffered enough. Forest Liverpool. Apparently Liverpool had never won at the City Ground before in the Premier League. They
said that it was like fucking Alan Hansen and shit. It was playing in the team the last time they'd won.
Which is just mental. I know Forest.
Ian Rush.
Yeah, would it be now? I know Forest had a really good team, and they've been out the league for a while, but it does seem
it's bizarre when you hear things like that, but they have been out the league for a long, long time, remember?
Aye.
Like, and any time they do come up, they're here for one season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was their first time back up.
Yeah.
Last season, so Adrian was on the bench, or Adrian for Liverpool. I can't believe he's still there, man. He's just getting paid to sit on a bench and doing nothing.
Picking up a wage, man.
Aye, amazing for him. Well
done. But was he played a game in Europe? I can't remember what it was against, and he just conceded like 3 pure daft goals, man.
But again,
I think it was either him or Karius at the time, and they're like, oh.
He was decent at West Ham, and I mean, he's just not Liverpool level.
He's so erratic and mental.
Aye, lots of young players in the Liverpool squad.
Yeah,
we've seen Bradley a few times, but Clark started for them. They had McConnell, Kumas, son of Jason Kumas, on the bench.
What?
Aye, and a guy called Dans. They were all on the bench. Which is good news for them going forward if they've got a good amount of youth talent coming through now. So that could be a real good sign for Liverpool going forward. If nothing else, it's assets you can sell. Although, like, knowing Todd Bowley, he'll probably come in and try and buy them all for about 17 billion quid. He loves a young footballer.
He does. Well,
but that's
allegedly.
Divock Origi playing for Forest was quite.
It was surreal, wasn't it?
He had a lot of big moments for Liverpool, shall we say?
Yeah, like he scored. He scored 2 against Barca.
Yeah,
he scored in the Champions League final, I'm sure, against Tottenham.
Yeah, he's got a lot of like cup final goals and all that. And this is despite, and I mean no disrespect to Divock, being quite pish.
Is that? You think so?
Origi was terrible. What you talking about?
What, mate? Like, he scored in the big games, man.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't make you a good footballer because you scored 3 goals in 5 seasons.
But like, if they're in the Champions League semi-final and final, then
it doesn't make you a good footballer if you don't score the rest of the time. If the rest of the time you're pish, you're pish.
Nah, I think if you come through and it's needed.
Sorry, if you don't drink on one day and are pissed the rest of the month, you can't say I'm not an alcoholic.
But that's what I do say. That's what I do.
I shouldn't have used that example on you, Patrick. I do, so I'm sorry. Forest came with a proper game plan, defend really well, use the pace of Gibbs White and Alanga to try and hit on the counter, and it nearly worked a couple of times.
Yep.
Alanga had a good chance early on. Kelleher made a really good save.
He looks good, by the way.
Aye.
See,
loan him to us, please.
The way he spread himself, it was like prime Schmeichel.
Aye. Well, yeah.
Did you have a funny wee thought or something there, mate? You made a wee face when I said the way he spread himself.
I don't know what you mean, Patrick. I do not know what you mean. Yeah, so yeah, he does look really good. And if Liverpool do want to loan him to Celtic, we certainly wouldn't say no.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, so the one I was thinking about, the Alanga one, probably the one you're talking about as well. It turned out he was offside after it, but the keeper didn't know it and made a really good save. Forest put in some really big tackles, big blocks. They had a clear plan, like they funneled Liverpool out wide. Yeah, because they just had all their players were like, we'll defend the box and that's it. And you can try and get crosses and try and do whatever, but we're gonna back ourselves to win all the aerial battles and throw ourselves in the way of anything that you do. And they didn't have Salah to
do a 1-2 or like fucking beat somebody,
and it was working for them.
They could have fucking won the game, man. Like they had some massive chances.
Yeah,
there was the one that whistled past the post as well. Was it Gibbs White?
Yeah. Sells their keeper, the new one. I mean, they've signed like 5 goalkeepers in the past 2 transfer windows or something like that. But he made a couple of big saves for them. It was really very unfortunate for them what happened in the end. But I do want to give some praise to McAllister. So I thought he was really good.
The assist was fucking superb as well.
The way he sat in front of the defence, like obviously I've praised Declan Rice a lot for that kind of the way he carries the ball forward and kick starts the attack. McAllister's doing that really well for Liverpool at the moment. Obviously, I think if they had proper defensive midfielder and him further up, he would do even more damage. But the way he's playing right now is he's bringing a lot to that Liverpool midfield, so he deserves a lot of credit.
I know he get an assist, but he should get an assist himself after the ref.
Yeah. Fuck it, let's just go into that now. Right, so
mental.
If you didn't see this, we'll sum it up for you. Forest are in possession of the ball with Hudson-Odoi. The referee stops the game. So this is just outside the Liverpool's box.
And a decent crossing area.
Decent crossing position. Referee stops the game for a head injury. Guy gets up straight away. It was bollocks.
Who was it? Kanate?
Kanate, I think it was. So when they go to restart the game, the referee just gives the ball to Kelleher, the Liverpool goalkeeper, for an uncontested drop ball. Now, by the letter of the law, if the ball is outside the box, the ball should be given. The drop ball should be to the team that were in possession, and it should be uncontested. So they should have taken the ball back out to where Hudson-Odoi was and given him possession of the football. Now, I'm not saying Forest would have scored from that or anything like that, but it's very unlikely that Liverpool would counter that quickly, get it down the other end and score. Yeah, which they then proceed to do. So,
and also in the 99th minute, when it was 8 minutes added time.
Yeah, exactly. So there would almost certainly
so many things.
No chance of that happening. I'm not saying it wouldn't have, because Liverpool fans would be like, it could have happened anyway. But if I was Forest, I'd be as pissed off as they were. I can understand why they were raging about it, because it's just a referee that doesn't know the rules of the game. Because
is it not an unwritten rule?
No.
Or is that the law?
Well, that's what Clattenburg came out and said. Like, yes.
I thought it was an unwritten rule.
If it's outside the box, the ball goes to possession of the team that had the ball.
Why don't they just contest drop balls again?
Or
just boot the fuck at each other's shins like
why doesn't VAR say, by the way, mate, you've got that wrong, it's a Forest ball? Mike Dean said, because we're not allowed to intervene on things like that. Fucking why? They're your rules. Like, the whole point of VAR is like, let's get rid of mistakes.
But it's no like,
that mistake. Like, just.
I think, see, once it's happened and the ball's in play, I don't think you can stop the game again. And then
no, but before that, just interfere, say no, it should be that. And also, I think you should be able to if it's an obvious mistake.
Yeah,
and that it's not just that. There's no interpretation in that. That is a misapplication.
I thought it was an unwritten rule.
No, it's like genuinely, and that's an official rule. And
no wonder like the whole bench of Forest just saying half an end.
Well, Paul Tierney was saying, the referee was saying, I have to give it to him. It's the rule, so he knows there is a rule about it. He just doesn't know what the fucking rule is.
Maybe I get confused because the player that was down in the box.
Yeah. But that's not good enough.
Maybe he get his head in the ball confused.
How much do Premier League referees get paid? I bet it's not a little amount of money.
I bet it's triple figures.
Yeah, so do better. I'm not going to talk about it any longer because refs just do my bots. Luton Aston Villa.
Mate, you have to say, fucking Wandy Carroll said that was a belter. And like,
the ball in was really, really good. And yeah, he
and like when he came on, he was just like everything was going through him. I think he had like about 7 shots.
Yeah,
that in like about like 15 minutes.
Andy
like
Carroll, that sounds like
he just goes for it. Like
he always shoots. Yeah,
he should get credit for like being so persistent.
Yeah, I suppose. Well done for scoring that goal that shouldn't have counted. I just sound like a bitter Arsenal fan because they've got.
You do, mate.
But honestly, it's not to do with that. I'm not angry at Liverpool. I'm angry at the refereeing because it boils my piss.
Yeah.
Luton Villa, once again, Luton giving it a pretty good go, but again, they look most likely of the newly promoted teams to stay up, but.
They need to start games better.
They need to win points.
They need to stop giving teams a 2-0 lead and then start playing.
Yeah, that is the thing. Villa started really well, controlled a lot of the first half, and Luton looked a bit listless, a bit lethargic. But
talk about England strikers, Watkins.
Well, yeah, this is
mate. He's like 1 goal behind Haaland.
This is something I do want to talk about.
All right.
So Haaland, he's second in just behind Haaland.
Yeah.
The next striker in the list, so if you take out like Salah and Bowen, is Dominic Solanke.
Yeah.
We grew up watching the Premier League where Henry, Van Nistelrooy, Rooney, Shearer, fucking Andy Cole, all these people were playing at once. Now, the next 2 best strikers in the league after Haaland are Ollie Watkins and Dominic Solanke. That's a dearth of striking talent. Like, don't get me wrong, Ollie Watkins is in good form, but he's not an outstanding striker.
I don't know, mate. Stats don't lie, mate. If he's only
for 1 season.
But like if you're playing for Villa and you're only fucking 2 goals behind Haaland,
yeah, but
he's playing for City, who gets like 5 chances.
He's found a very good balance between him and Emery. Seem to work really, really well together the way they're using him.
Aye.
But he wasn't particularly brilliant before Emery came in, was he? And it's not like Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or anyone like that is going, oh my God, we really need to get Ollie Watkins. There aren't even any other Premier League teams that are going, really, oh my God, we really need to get Ollie Watkins. Because he's a good player. But I mean, even after that period, right, when you look at the next one, Aguero, Suarez, like there was still so many other fucking, like Robin Van Persie.
Yeah.
There were so many other top talents. Even if you go later than that, you had like, what was it, the Chelsea boy, Costa. There was still a lot of other talent. There was always more than one good, real top level striker in the league.
So for the record, you don't rate Ollie Watkins?
He's decent.
He's decent.
He's a good striker, but he's not an elite level striker, is he?
I don't know. He's doing it at the elite level, so I wouldn't say he's elite just now.
No, he's not an elite striker, is he? And he's 27. It's not like he's going to get much better. He's in the Premier League. I just don't know. He's a good player.
I like how you took that out of my mouth.
He's a good player, and I would like him as a backup at Arsenal. But I just think compared to what we grew up with, I think there's quite a dearth in attacking strikers there. And I don't know if that's because football's changed and the way Pep got played with a false 9 for a while, and there's this kind of idea of total football being back where there's no single specialised position anymore. Everyone has to be capable of doing multiple jobs.
Yeah.
And therefore, they're not being trained to be an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
Or if it's just there aren't as many around at the moment. I don't know what it is, but I do not mean to have a go at Ollie Watkins whatsoever. I think he is a good player.
But
I think he's a good player, but I just don't think he's at that. I mean, think about in Spain and stuff like that, some of the strikers they've still got knocking around, or in Italy or in Germany. There's places that have a lot more talent. I mean, PSG have more talent in that team alone in the striking position than the entire Premier League does.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a bit of a dearth there, and there could be multiple reasons for it. I'm sorry, Ollie Watkins. You're having a great season. Well done, you.
Anyway, Ollie Watkins scored 2 goals early.
I was in a ranty mode.
I know. I mean, you went for that one. I enjoyed it.
I mean, Chelsea fans will be annoyed I didn't mention Drogba. So there you go, Drogba as well. He was very good.
He was alright.
But no, he was alright.
He was alright.
Douglas Luiz was playing really well in this game.
So good. I like him.
I think this is an even bigger testament to the other defensive midfielders, though, like Rodri and Rice and what McAllister's doing right now. That McGinn and Douglas Luiz are doing what they're doing, but as a twosome rather than on their own.
Aye.
But they are doing it brilliantly. Like the McGinn being the tenacious worker, and then Douglas Luiz being the sort of deep line playmaker. It's working really, really well for them.
So good, man.
And that first half was so comfortable for them, and they probably should have been further ahead as well. But whatever Rob Edwards said at half time was superb, because they came out with a rocket up their arse, man. They were utterly determined to turn it around, and very nearly did it.
I've got a pure soft spot for Luton, honestly. Like, they're just so good to watch. Like, like every game, it's like, it's not that they play pure great football. It's just that they fucking attack. If they're getting beat 2-0, they'll go for it and either get beat 4-0 or 3-2. Like, they'll still like just entertain.
That's true. Yeah, whatever happens in this season, they can. I think they'll go with it out with their head held high. Even if they do get relegated, they'll be like, you know what, we gave that a go. We were fun to watch. And a lot of the times when teams come up from the championship, the fans are almost like the press going to the stadium, because it's we're just going to get a hiding today, we're just going to sit and defend. And
Sheffield United fans.
Hello. But they go and give it a go, and they usually get goals as well. So gotta give them that.
I've said it before, but they remind me of Blackpool for that season.
Yeah,
where they just like come up and fucking try to go for teams.
They're
and get took apart quite a lot, but they were getting beat 4-3, so it's always good to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And they are giving it a go. They do play some nice stuff at times, and you know what? It's just fun to see a team come up from the championship and go, we're just going to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. And they are doing that. And I think it's certainly done Rob Edwards no harm.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be in the shop window regardless of what happens to them. In the same way like Marco Silva, when Hull got relegated, got another job in the Premier League straight away. I think I could easily see that for Rob Edwards, because he seems to be doing a really, really good job down there. The one last thing I do want to say about this game is Match of the Day captioned in Ollie Watkins' highlight reel is Ollie's got the Lotkins.
Ollie's got the Lotkins?
Yeah.
That is horrific, pal.
Yeah, it's a good thing the planet's dying, that's all I'm
saying. Sack that cunt.
What?
You said that.
What games do you want to talk about? Because we've not got a lot of time left. We've got like 3 minutes, so do you want to do a quick run through of what happened in all of them?
Fucking Spurs.
Spurs won. Werner scored. That was the biggest news of the day.
He missed up your sitter as well.
Sorry, you was supposed to see that, but when I said Werner scored, Paddy went. But yeah, he scored after missing a sitter. That is true. Spurs looked a lot better with their proper midfield three in there. Yep. Bentancur, Madison and Basuma.
Yep.
It made a huge difference for them. Like, Basuma had some really good moments of play. Madison's just brilliant at passing forward, and Bentancur does a lot of the leg work in there, and it shows how important having that solid midfield can be. Son was brilliant again. I think the best they can hope for is challenging for fourth, but if they manage to get
they're still in there. Like, I'd say
I still think it's Villa's to lose.
I think it's between them and Villa. I think you can pretty much count Man U out of it.
Yeah. Palace.
Do you know what? Oh, have you got? I was going to say, I thought you were going to move on. I just seen your joke at the end of the notice there.
I say it's not a joke, it's more of an observation. But yeah, Palace, they're not going to get judged based on what happens in this game. Yeah. Eze was good, and if they can keep him and get Elise back, and they're both fit, that they'll be all right. But they're just blunt without those two players fit. And yeah, I was going to say it's been a while since I've done one of these, but the new Palace manager, Glasner, looks like Michael J. Fox, only more stationary.
So rough.
But it's like someone took a photo. It's like someone took a photo of him with a camera that automatically reduces blur. That's what. Sorry, Michael.
It's so rough. But it's true. He does.
It's fine. I
more station.
I shake a lot too, but that's just social anxiety. Newcastle Wolves, your boys won
3-0. Gary O'Neill came in and said that was never a 3-0 and like went mental about it.
It was strange from a Wolves perspective, because they're normally quite good, and they started looking all right. You kind of swapped how they played in this game. First half, Newcastle looked like they were going to be the counter-attacking team.
No.
And then the second half, Wolves were the counter-attacking team. Gordon gets another goal. That's always good news. Isak's right position, right place to get the goal. And Tino Livramento dribbled it into the net as well, which was a great moment for him.
It was good, man. Good.
Your fullbacks were really good in this game.
Dan Burn, man.
Getting an assist.
Fucking hell, like, it just...
It's because you slated him. Yeah, he's having none of it. The wee 3-fingered guy. Well, he's massive, actually.
The 6'5", 3-fingered guy.
Chelsea, well, that's what happens when you're Chelsea.
Oh, fucking Visa's overhead kick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Chelsea do need to take some responsibility for that, for doing nothing to close them down, because he's got all the time to prepare for it.
Have we got a scale for bicycle kicks / overhead kicks?
No, but we can come up for one with next week. That's what we'll do. We'll come up for one for next week, and we'll wrap it up there, because...
Perfect. Bang.
I thought you were just about to give us a round of applause. I don't clap this, man. I made a Michael J. Fox joke.
Oh, it was great, though.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up. So it's goodbye from Patrick.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from me. Stay fresh, cheese bag.